Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. And for today's video, I thought it would just be really fun to sit down, level with you guys, and talk about some of my favorite Halloween book recommendations. I have read so many thrillers, seasonal romances, paranormal romances, anything you can think of. And so today I'm going to be telling you about some of my favorites. Halloween is going to be a week from the day that this video is posted. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys some recommendations. If you're kind of stumped thinking, I don't know what to read this week leading up to Halloween, I want to pick something that will get me in the mood and the vibes for Halloween, then this is the video for you. So without further ado, let's just get started. Hey guys, I just wanted to pop in and actually give a quick disclaimer. All of the books that I am about to recommend, you should definitely, if you feel like you need to, look up the trigger warnings for them if you're going to pick them up. Some of these books handle crazy, heavy themes. Some of these books have traumatic things that happen in them. And I just really recommend protecting yourself and protecting your peace and making sure that these books have themes that you are comfortable reading, that will bring you joy from reading or little spooky feelings, but I don't want to emotionally make you distressed at all, so I would just recommend looking up the trigger warnings for each and every book, even the romances, all right, because we know romance authors love to have some heavy themes. I highly recommend just looking those up, because just because I'm comfortable reading something doesn't mean that you'll be 100% comfortable, and I would never want to recommend a book that would make you feel upset. So that's my disclaimer. All right, on to the recommendations. This is my first sit-down video where you can see all of my bookshelves in the background. And this romance shelf is gagging me. It looks so beautiful in the background. Like, I'm surrounded by my books and this is the best thing ever. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this view of all my beautiful books. But anyways, we're gonna start with our first genre, category, whatever you wanna call it. We're gonna start with my favorite thrillers. First couple of books that I wanna talk about are all by the same author, and that is Riley Sager. He is my favorite thriller author of all time. The way that he writes is just so encapsulating. It's so scary, so gripping, and I just love every book that he's ever written that I've read, and I'm continuing to read more. I have like 3 of them on my physical TBR right now. I'm obsessed with him. I'm currently reading one of his books. He's just incredible, so I wanted to tell you guys about all of the ones that I've read so far and what I thought of them. The first one is Final Girls. This one I feel like is perfect for spooky season just because of the premise. We are following this girl who is a final girl. That's what the media has deemed her and these 2 other girls that were both the lone survivors of various massacres. So basically it's just like in the horror movies where there is one girl left. And in this book, it seems like someone is trying to take out all of the final girls. So it's really scary. It reads like a horror movie and it's so interesting. The twists always get me with Riley Sager, and in this one they really got me. I really had a great time reading this, and I just feel like the whole Final Girls premise is the perfect premise to read for this time of year. I gave this one 4.5 stars. It just didn't give me that 5-star feeling, but like I said earlier, if it's Riley Sager, read it. So this is our first book recommendation. I highly recommend this one. Just based off the premise alone, you should pick it up, but the writing is impeccable. Riley Sager is a genius. Next book. So the second book is another Riley Sager book, and that is The Only One Left. This one might be my favorite. This one is like a 5-6 star read for me. When I picked this up, I ended up actually buddy reading this with my mom, and we were both so obsessed with it. It was just insane. Like, we were texting. We did a video about it, so if you haven't seen that, go watch that video. It's a couple months ago, maybe? I don't know. I'll link it at the end of the video. But this book was absolutely insane. The twists are insane. It follows Kit, who is basically hired to take care of this old woman in her mansion, to be like a live-in caretaker for this old woman who is rumored to have murdered her whole family. She was never convicted. There's no evidence, but she is the only one who survived the whole family being wiped out, pretty much. So people around town all think that it's her. Only now, she is like completely incapacitated. She can't talk, she can't move. She needs to be fully taken care of. She needs a full-time caretaker. So Kit is hired on to be her full-time caretaker. And let's just say we end up finding out that there is a lot more to the story. So I highly recommend this one. The setting is so creepy. The way that this house, like the place this house is described to be in, is just like so eerie and terrifying. It's like right near the water. It's this huge mansion that's like kind of taken care of, but it feels like it's, I can't even describe it. I don't want to spoil too much, but the setting alone, this one is perfect for this time of year. Also, it's like orange, and I feel like, hello, Halloween, hello. So this one I definitely recommend as well. The writing, once again, is impeccable, and I just love Riley Sager, but this like eerie, creepy mansion and this woman who can't talk or move, this is like an elevated version of Verity by Colleen Hoover, kind of. I feel like this has a very similar like premise and plot, but it definitely has completely different writing levels and completely different like endings and everything. So I would highly recommend reading this one. And I don't know if I said this, I think I did, but this is like a 6-star read for me. This is probably my favorite, or one of my favorite Riley Sager books. This is like top 2 for sure. The next book I want to talk about is also Riley Sager, and that is Lock Every Door. This one, I think about this one to this day. This is probably my #1 favorite one, to be honest. Just based off the setting alone, it is set at an apartment building in New York City that is very similar / based off of the Dakota, which is a very famous apartment building in the city. That's where John Lennon lived. So it's just like a super famous, old, beautiful, super expensive apartment building in the city that kind of overlooks Central Park. And this book takes place in an apartment building just like that. Our main character, Jules, gets a job to be an apartment sitter for free. She gets to live in one of these apartments, and she gets paid like a bunch of money. I forgot exactly how much, but it's like thousands of dollars to live in this apartment for about 3 months. But once she gets there, the vibes are kind of weird. She's not supposed to talk to anyone else who lives in the building, and the vibes are just super off. And basically, it's so hard to talk about thrillers in recommendation videos or in reading vlogs, because trying not to spoil them is so hard, because I don't want to give you too much, I don't want to give you too little. But the setting alone, Dakota-esque apartment building, creepy ass job opportunity, like seems like the best thing ever, but like too good to be true. It's like this beautiful apartment, and then like all this crazy shit starts happening basically, and it's not as good as it seems. So I would definitely pick this one up. Again, setting alone, Riley Sager has such a way with making the settings of his thrillers so eerie and unsettling. The way that it's described in this book just makes it feel so eerie and unsettling. If you've read this book, like the gargoyle, everything is just unsettling. And once again, the twist at the end you will never see coming. I don't know how he comes up with these ideas in his brain. It is a talent that I will never have. I could never think of a plot as complex as the one that this book has, but he did. And thank God that he did. So this is my next book rec, and that is a 6-star book. This is like a 7-star book. This is one of the, if not the best thriller I have ever read, all right? So this is our next recommendation. Okay, definitely pick this one up. Okay, our final Riley Sager book rec, I promise. Okay, I'm sorry, is The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. This book is insane. I feel like a book that's set on a lake is so perfect for the fall season. It just gives such nice like fall woodsy scenery, and this definitely has that, but it also has the crazy twists and plot from the rest of Riley Sager's writing, of course. Duh, he's a genius, as I've said 80 times. But this book follows our main character, Casey Fletcher, as she basically spies on her rich and famous neighbors across the lake, literally sitting there, binoculars, stalking them. But it's a good thing, because eventually things seem to take a weird dark turn. Casey's really confused by what she's seeing from the neighbor's house. And then the wife seems to completely disappear. So now Casey needs to uncover the mystery of where the hell did Catherine go, all right? Where the hell did the wife go? What's going on there? And it just gets so insane. Once again, hard to talk about thrillers, but every single one that I just recommended you needs to be read. This is my least favorite Riley Sager. I gave this one 4 stars just because I think that it didn't leave me as jaw-dropped as the other ones. I think setting was a big thing too. I've read a lot of thrillers that are based on lakes, you know, that have lake vibes, and it just wasn't as much of like a unique, beautifully painted setting as the other ones were, in my opinion. But still a banger, still 4 stars, definitely a perfect one for fall. And all of his books come in just around 400 pages, like a little bit under 400 pages, which I feel like is the perfect length for a thriller. So those are all of the Riley Sager books. I'm so sorry for talking about him for like 10 minutes, but now on to other authors. All right, this next recommendation is technically a thriller, but I feel like it read a lot like historical fiction at a lot of parts of the book. So if you are if historical fiction is your genre and you want to lean spookier for this week, this is definitely the perfect read for you. This was my book of the month for last October, and that is The Book of Witching by C.J. Cook. This book is absolutely insane. We follow our main character, Clem, as her daughter is unconscious in the hospital, and Erin, her daughter, who is unconscious in the hospital, unfortunately, just got back from the Orkney Islands with her two friends, her boyfriend and her best friend, both ending up dead, all right? And we don't know what happened to them. Their bodies are found in really strange conditions. And then Erin finally wakes up from this coma and is acting like she does not know who her mother, Clem, is. She has no idea who she is, and she's insisting that they refer to her as Nyx, which is not her name. So the mom is basically doing some digging and trying to find out what's going on, and it could possibly be the product of an ancient curse. So that is kind of the premise of this book. That's basically what the back of the book says. And this was insane. It's dual timeline, dual point of view. It might be multi-point of view, honestly. I forget. It's been so long. I read it last October, so it's been a while. But I just remember this being the perfect, like, witchy, crazy book. I, at the time, wasn't super into books that read like historical fiction, but I feel like if I reread this now, I would give it an even higher rating. At the moment of my first read, I did give this only a 3.5 stars, but I do feel like vibes, this is the vibes that you want for Halloween. It has those creepy, historic vibes, though. Like, it's like, what is the lore? The lore here goes deep, all right? This one has crazy lore. So if you like historical fiction and you want like a witchy historical fiction book, this is definitely the one for you. So I gave this one 3.5 stars, and I definitely do recommend it for the season. Now we're gonna move on to one of my favorite YA thriller authors, and that is Holly Jackson. I love every book that woman has written. I've actually ran out of books to read. I haven't read the new adult book yet. I am literally saving it for a moment of book slump and despair, because I know that that woman can pull me out of a hole better than anyone else can. So yes, of course, I love Holly Jackson. Let's talk about some of her books. The first one I want to talk about, I want to start with the one-off books, just because I think, we have a week till Halloween. You're more likely to pick up one book than start a series. So let's talk about some of my favorite books by her that are one-offs. The first book is 5 Survive. This book is insane. In this book, we're following 6 friends in an RV on their way to spring break. But their RV breaks down in the middle of nowhere with no cell service, and someone has trapped them inside. Someone is outside basically trying to unalive them, and they are freaking the fuck out. It's the craziest book ever. So they basically have to figure out what they're gonna do and try to survive the night. It's insane. It's the perfect over one night thriller ever. I loved it. I had so much fun reading it, and I just love Holly Jackson's writing. I feel like this is the perfect thriller to pick up if you're looking for something that's a little bit of a quicker, easier read. I also think that an author has to be really talented when they're only writing one location, and in this book, you can really see those talents from Holly Jackson. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. It is my lowest rated Holly Jackson book, but it doesn't make it a bad book. It's amazing. It's a 4 star. That's really high. And honestly, thinking back, I might even rate it even higher because I remember and think about the book quite a bit. So that is a key sign that I really enjoyed it. So definitely would recommend this one if you're looking for a one-off, scary, in the middle of the woods, no self-service, we have to survive thriller. This next book probably should have been a 5 star with the amount that I think about it all the time, but I ended up giving it 4.5 stars, and that is Holly Jackson's other one-off book, The Reappearance of Rachel Price. We are following our main character, Belle, and as you can see by the title, someone is reappearing. So Belle's mother went missing, I think it's 16 years ago in the book, and she hadn't been seen since. They had no leads, no idea where she is, but then one day, she reappears, and there's something a little suspicious about it. This book had the craziest twist ending ever. I can't even tell you. I can't tell you because that would be a spoiler, but you need to pick it up. If you're going to pick up one of Holly Jackson's books, this must... Ooh. If you're going to pick up one of Holly Jackson's books, this has to be it, okay? This has to be it. I can't talk more about it because I'm so scared to spoil it, but basically her mom reappears after being missing for like 16 years, and everyone is acting weird about it, including her mom. And it's just insane. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't have more to say. You need to read it. There is like a million twists in this book, and every single one had me going, what? Out loud. Out loud to nobody. To nobody. Going, are you kidding me? To nobody. This book was insane. You have to read it. It's like probably the perfect thriller. Honestly. I should have given it 5 stars. I don't know why I didn't. I'm so excited about it. I'm going to call it a 5-star, guys. 5 stars. Read it, please. Read it. I'm begging you. It's so good. Holly Jackson's a genius. I feel like I'm being so chaotic in this video. Like, I need to drink water and relax. Our next and final Holly Jackson book is, of course, the 5-star series, the one that everyone always talks about by Holly Jackson, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. This trilogy is freaking insane. You need to read it if you haven't. This book is crazy. The first book, it's chef's kiss. I'm obsessed with these characters. They're amazing. I think about them all the time. So in this book, our main character, Pip, basically chooses as her senior capsule project to re-examine a unalive, self-unalive, like when you unalive somebody and then unalive yourself. That is what happened in her town. And she decides to re-examine the case, which is crazy work to re-examine like not that old of a case like that for your senior project. Thinking about it, a little crazy of her to do, but she decides to do that for her senior project and re-examine the case and pick it apart, and she ends up finding out some absolutely crazy shit. So that's all I'm going to say about that, but if you haven't read it, I'm sure you've heard so much about it, and this is your sign to pick it up this Halloween. And not even just this Halloween, pick it up like this fall. Like start the first book now, the next book in a couple of weeks, and finish by Christmas. And it'll be a grand old time. This is a really fun series. I read it super fast. Some of the books I read in like 2 days. And yeah, you just get really attached to the characters. I love it. I think about them all the time. I read the novella. I never read the novella. I read the novella for this series, you guys. Like, come on. Come on. You gotta read it. That's a 5-star series for me. I don't remember what the individual ratings for the books are, but it's absolutely a 5-star series. If you like YA thrillers, that series, it's like chef's kiss, as I said. So now we are done with all of our spooky, scary thrillers, historical scaries, all the scaries. I don't really read much horror. I'm just getting into it now, so I don't have many recommendations for that. But next week's vlog, you will see me reading a horror book or 2. And I really enjoyed myself. So you guys will see that next week. That is a little hint of what next week's video is going to be. But anyways, let's move on. This portion of the video is going to be me talking about some of my favorite romances that I feel like would be perfect to read around this time of year. So let's just get right into it. The first romance book that I'm going to recommend is by one of my favorite romance authors ever. That is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. This book's magical realism element is so amazing, and it's so perfect for this season. It's ghosts. All right, babe, we got ghosts in this book. It's a ghosty romance, and I loved it so much. This is one of my favorite, like, romances for Halloween. I feel like it's probably one of my least favorite Ashley Poston books, but I love all her writing so much that is like, that doesn't matter. I ended up giving this book 4 stars, which is really, really high for a romance. It's just a really nice, cozy read. It does have some heavy themes, so like I said earlier in the video, you should definitely look up the trigger warnings for this one. But basically, Florence Day, our main character, is a ghostwriter, and she has to go home for a funeral, and her parents actually own a funeral home. So this is their business, this is their bread and butter, and there is a ghostly romance that ends up happening. I don't want to spoil too much. As I always say, I try not to spoil too much, but if you're looking for a spooky, magical realism romance that is, you know, has some heavy themes and keeps it, you know, real, but also has some really sweet moments, this is definitely the book for you. Like I said, I gave it 4 stars, and I love Ashley Poston, so I recommend all of her work. It's all up there on my favorite romance shelf, literally. So if you haven't read anything from her and you want to read something spooky right now and this isn't triggering to you, this is definitely the one. All right, pick this one up for sure. My next couple of romance recommendations are all the first books in a series, but these books can all definitely be read just as one-offs if you'd like that better. So you do have the option to continue the series if you really liked it, but I feel like they can also be read on their own, and that's why I am recommending all of them in this video. So let's get started. To start, we have the first book in the X-Hex trilogy, The X-Hex by Erin Sterling. This book is so cute. We follow Vivi, who is our main character, and she falls in love with one of the town's founder's descendants, all right? And he's a little bit posh, he's a little bit cool, and they live in this beautiful magic fall vibe town. And just the way they interact, it's so cute. Everything about it is cute. The magic, the conflict in this book, because we don't only get a romance conflict, we're also getting like a town, save the town moment in it, and it is so cute. Everything about this book, the vibes, there's like a female friendship aspect. It's technically not a friendship because they're cousins, but that hits close to home with me because of Maria, of course. I don't know if I'm making sense anymore, guys. It's getting late at night and I'm recommending books and I'm like looking into the light like, but anyways, this has such cute vibes. That's all I can say. The vibes are perfect. If you want something to sit, curl up with, and not feel too stressed out and get the perfect witchy, cute town vibes, it's giving like Gilmore Girls, it's giving fall, it's giving cutesy, it's giving witchy, it's giving Halloween town. It's everything you could want. It's giving romance. Duh. Guys, I'm getting tired. Anyways, this is just like such a cutesy book, and I feel like it's the perfect read. I am currently continuing the series, and it is still the perfect series to be reading right now. It just warms your heart and fills your soul with cute Halloween vibes. I rated this book 4 stars, and I would definitely recommend it. It's just cutesy, as I've said. I'm a mess. Anyways, 4 stars, you should read it, yes. I have 2 more books to talk about. Let's hope that my brain can stay together. I'm also gonna stop saying unalive because for this book, I'm saying the word kill too many times, so I'm just gonna have to say it. Sorry, YouTube, don't flag this video. Anyways, we're talking about the first book in the Ruinous Love trilogy, Butcher and Blackbird. This is about 2 serial killers that kill other serial killers, and they end up starting a contest to see who could kill a serial killer first. Wow. Say that 10 times fast. Anyways, it's so cute. Their banter in this book, the sarcasm between them during this romance, it's literally everything to me. It's so funny. I will say this book is very spicy, which I did not know going into it. So the like multiple 10+ page spice scenes can be a lot for some people, and if that's not your vibe, definitely don't pick this up. I even was like skipping pages at some points, and I usually don't mind a little bit of spice, but this was quite a lot. It was quite crazy. But I ended up reading this whole trilogy. I finished it recently, and I'd say it's probably about a 4-star trilogy for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love the characters, and I love the way that the couple in the next book is interconnected to them. I just found it really a grand old time. I found it a grand old time, guys. Anyways, I really did have fun reading it, and I'm pretty sure I also gave this 4 stars. Yes, so I also gave this one 4 stars, and it's just a really fun trilogy. I think that it has the perfect vibes for right now with the serial killer vibes, and I think it's just a fun, spooky, but not really spooky, cute romance, sarcastic, bantery romance. If you like bantery romance, this is your book, okay? Let's talk about our final book recommendation. This is a paranormal romance, I believe, and this is the first book in a series. I don't know how long the series is gonna be, because only 2 books are out. I know there's a 3rd book coming. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy or if we're going to keep going, but this is Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. This was my September book of the month from last year, and this book is insane. It is quite long. It's quite a doozy, but the paranormal vibes is insane. This book does center heavily on like demons and stuff that's a little darker than just like ghosty cuteness. And it is a bit violent at some points, so definitely look up the trigger warnings for this one. But the romance is so iconic. Also, the main character's name is Ophelia, which is iconic. So if you want to listen to The Fate of Ophelia and read this book, that would be iconic as well. I just found this so crazy. Basically, this follows our main character, Ophelia, and she has to enter this like challenge where she's fighting through like the 9 circles of hell or whatever because her little sister entered it. So she's trying to like save her sister, and it's just this whole thing, and she enters, but then there's a romance, and I can't even explain because the book is so long that so much happens, but basically she's in this crazy circles of hell game show that's so gory and crazy, but then she also ends up falling in love with this like sexy phantom man, and it's like kind of everything. So I definitely recommend this if you're into like more of like a dark romance. This is definitely going to be your vibe. I gave this one 4 stars. My light's about to die and I'm about to fall asleep, so it is time to close out this video. But I really hope that I gave you some good book recommendations in this video. I hope that I was coherent enough to tell you a little bit about them. It's so hard to talk about books without giving spoilers. So I hope that you know, found some good recommendations in this video, or I at least helped you to pick up that book that you've just been ignoring on your TBR cart and pick it up for this Halloween spooky season. I love this time of year. I love reading for this time of year. It's just so fun. So I'm glad that I got to sit here and talk about some of my favorite books that I've read to get me in the vibe for Halloween. I'll see you guys next week for my last spooky Halloween video. I can't believe it's already over. There will be more spooky book content next year, of course. So without further ado, let me stop deliriously yapping and thanking you, and let's just do the thing. All right, guys, I'm gonna do the thing. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any book recommendations, video suggestions, or anything else you want to let me know, make sure to leave it in the comment section down below. While you're down there, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on Halloween. Bye!